Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are enjoying this event, as I am. My name is Paola Garcia. I work in the Chilean Authority, which is also the Chilean NDC. And I'm in charge of managing all these IMS stations we have that are 7. And I am also part of the Working Group B. I am a quotas leader of support of provisional operations and also a surrogate inspector. Today, our panel, I will be the moderator, and the panel is called Enabling Regional Capacities and National Data Center Support with Training and Technical Assistance, following the NDC for All initiative. First of all, I would like to start describing what is an NDC, for those who don't know, in the context of the CTBT. And the NDC is an organization with technical expertise in verification technologies, working under the guidance of the national authority that advises it on nuclear explosions monitoring, and in many cases, they play an important role as station operators also, and in transmitting IMS data to the CTBTO. This panel will discuss the synergy between the CTBTO and regional experts. And also, the NDC can go beyond the capacity of the IMS, as you saw in the pictures of the previous presentation, because they have access also to the regional network data. The NDCs provide feedback to enhance IDC products and services. The quality and effectiveness of 3D monitoring benefit from this international cooperation. Today, in this panel, we have 5 participants that are part of their NDCs, and I will just say their names, and they are going to introduce themselves, okay, and also their institution. She is Keila Ramirez. She's from Venezuela. She's the head of geophysics departments at the Venezuelan Foundation for Seismological Research. So I'll let you introduce yourself, Keila. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Thank you all for the invitation. I truly appreciate this opportunity. As Paula was mentioning, yes, I am head of the Geophysics Department at the Venezuelan Foundation for Seismological Research. I'm an expert in active and seismic data, acquisition and data processing, and signal analysis. I have participated into the CTBTO's activities since 2018, when I joined the CTBTO youth group. And then I have kept participating into various activities and keep presenting my research and others activities. The most recently is the RSTT workshops and SnT events. My research at the moment is oriented into the improvement and better constraint of the relocalization and of ellipse errors, which is an essential tool in order to support the treaty and its verification. I have almost 10 years of working experience. I graduated from Simón Bolívar University in Caracas, Venezuela, and then did my MSc studies at UCD, University College Dublin in Ireland. Beside all those activities, I'm quite an active scientist and absolutely support the activities of the CTBTO from my position.
Thank you very much, Keila. And we also have Mako Sitali. She's from Namibia. She's the senior geoscientist at the Geological Survey of Namibia. She maintains and operates the National Seismological Network. And please, Mako, introduce yourself.
Thank you, Paula, for offering me the floor. Well, I am Mako Sitali from the Geological Survey of Namibia, which falls under the Ministry of Mines and Energy. So the Geological Survey of Namibia's core function, its main mandate is to acquire, collect geoscientific information, which is mainly used for mineral exploration. In addition to that, the Geological Survey of Namibia, that's where the NDC is hosted. And I am one of the staff members that take responsibility of everyday NDC responsibilities. So what I basically do at the survey is to characterize event parameters, such as magnitude determinations, finding epicentral locations, depth, and time of origin. So just to talk briefly about Namibia and the CTBTO, well, we have quite a very special relationship, which comes like 2 decades, more than 2 decades, because we ratified the treaty in June 2001. And after that, we were offered to host 2 IMA stations. So currently we have an infrasound station and then auxiliary seismic stations. So besides my responsibilities at the NDC, I also work with a committee. I'm a technical advisor on a committee that deals with disaster and risk and reduction management, which is under the Office of the Prime Minister. And also, I'm part of the technical experts on the Working Group B. So just to give you also an interesting fact about Namibia. Namibia is quite a very big country, interesting country. And at the moment, we are the 2nd least densely populated country in Namibia, in the world, after Mongolia. So ladies and gentlemen, if you meet a Namibian, consider yourself being very lucky because we are so few in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mako. Now let's continue with Juan Cantabella Nadal. He's from Spain, and he's the director of the National Seismic Network at the National Geographical Institute. I'm sorry, I had it in Spanish. Thank you very much, Juan, please.
Thank you, Paola, and thank you to the PTS for inviting me to participate in this panel. As Paola has mentioned, I'm a seismologist and currently serve as the head of the National Seismic Network in Spain, which falls under the responsibility of the National Geographic Institute of Spain, the IGN. IGN is an institution with a history spanning over 150 years, and that has is entrusted with various tasks like seismic monitoring, tsunami detection, and volcano monitoring at the national level. Well, Spain signed the CTBT in 1996 and ratified it in 1998. And at that time, established the National Data Center within the IEN. Similarly to other NDCs, IEN operates an IMS station, in our case, a primary seismic station, that is located in the province of Toledo, PS40. This station, although was initially established in 1958 by AFTAC, then it was returned to Spain. In 1999, started to transmit data to the IDC, and by 2001, it received certification, becoming officially part of the IMS. So in addition to the NDC in Spain, we have other 4 establishments recognized by the CTBTO. One notable establishment is the Center for Energy and Technological and Environmental and Technological Research, known as CIEMAT, which possesses extensive expertise in radionuclide analysis. And in the role of as an NDC, IGN utilizes IMS data and IDC products. We have actively participated in some national data center preparedness exercises. and we have taken advantage of several training opportunities provided by the PTS. Additionally, in collaboration with CEMAT, we have assisted our national authorities regarding recent events involving nuclear tests. Moreover, I'm confident that IEN's regional seismic network, along with our expertise in seismic analysis, contributes to enhance the IMS monitoring capabilities. However, I think it's interesting to acknowledge that we lack expertise in technologies like infrasound or hydroacoustic. As such, I think that there is still room for improvement regarding our use of IMS data and IDC products, particularly in these areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juan. And now let's continue with Daniela Gica. She's from Romania. She's the head of the National Data Center at the National Institute for Earth Physics. I'll let you introduce you, Daniela. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Good afternoon. So I would like to emphasize that my 21 years of activities related to Romanian participated in support of the CTBT verification. I'm a senior researcher and I have a PhD in physics since 2011, experience in array seismology and infrasound monitoring, data acquisition and processing and analysis. In Romania, the NDC is hosted, as Paula mentioned, by National Institute for Earth Physics, and the NDC was established by a government decision in 2000. And currently, the Romanian NDC is fully established as NDC. Romania is a signatory state of the CTBT since the beginning in 1996 and ratified the treaty in 1999. The Romanian participation to the verification regime for CTBT consists of the Auxiliary Seismic Station Muntele Roșu CHEA, MLR, and National Data Center, which is the Romanian National Data Center is responsible for operating and maintaining of the auxiliary station CHEA Muntele Roșu.
Thank you very much, Daniela. Now let's continue with Marlene Brax. She's from Lebanon, and she is the director of the NDC for Geophysics. Please, Marlene.
Thank you, Paula, and good afternoon. I would like first to thank the PTS for inviting me to participate to this panel. So my name is Marlene Brax. I am an earthquake engineer with a PhD in geophysics. I work since now 21 years in the National Center for Geophysics, and since 7 years I am the director. So the National Center for Geophysics had the official mandate by the Prime Minister to monitor the seismic activity in Lebanon, as well as he has to do all the research, scientific research that help to understand better the seismic and the tsunami hazard in the country. As for the relation between Lebanon and the CTBTO, so Lebanon signed the treaty in 2005, ratified it in 2008, so my center is the NDC. And in 2012, we received the CBS, and we do not have any IMS stations in the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marlene. Okay, now I will ask some questions. For example, in which ways the NDC can improve the functionality of your regional or national network, Kayla?
think that the most important thing in which NDCs can improve our national network is by the implementation of new technologies like NDC in a box, SeismicP3 tools, and the way they are used inside our internal analysis. So these are capabilities that really enhance and benefit our performance, as well as the number of certificate analysts that actually work and make life inside our NDC.
Thank you very much, Keola. Juan, what do you think about this question?
Well, in our case, the IMS station we operate clearly enhances the functionality of our national seismic network. Beyond that, the training received, the training provided by the PTS also has enhanced this functionality. For instance, the training we have received in SeisCom has been very helpful for our duties regarding the National Seismic Network. And another example of this is the agreement we have between the CTBTO and Spain concerning the use of seismic and hydroacoustic data for the purpose of tsunami warning.
Thank you very much, Juan. And also, Daniela, I would like to know if you can also answer this question, please.
Sure. For the Romanian NDC, the softwares included in NDC in a box were helpful, and as well the training for how to use and them and process data. So we were able to make some progresses in processing infrasound data, seismic as well, and I think the access we have to the IMS data and the IDC products are not only for, but mainly for the verification activities and analysis of special events occurring from time to time, but also for study of relevant sources. Seismic and infrasound are useful.
Thank you very much. Mako, do you work together with other institutions on the 3D verification for civil applications?
Definitely, yes. We do work together with other NDCs. And just like the ES also emphasized in his opening remarks the first day of this training, the importance of togetherness and working together as a team. I believe working collectively makes it much easier. We achieve more, we achieve better results and faster. So I'll give you a short story where this was demonstrated in Namibia. So in 2018, we experienced a significant event where we had a high magnitude earthquake, but at the time, our stations were off. And this is when now the collaboration came in handy. So we had to, since we have access to IMS data, we use this IMS data to be able to locate the event. But then after that, the frequency of the events just continued. So it's like we experienced a seismic swamp. And it was difficult for our country, for Namibia, to give feedback to the community, to the policymakers, because we did not have sufficient data for that. So we engaged with our neighboring NDC, the South African Council of Geoscience, who loaned us their equipment, and then we installed the equipment for a period of 3 months. So by doing so, we were able to collect data that we used to delineate or demarcate areas which were more prone to seismic activities, and also advise, because in the process when that event occurred, actually there were damages. Some schools had to close, and then education was disrupted. And this was not good, and everyone now had to look, well, this is the role of the Geological Survey, so you need to give feedback. So with this collaboration between Namibia and Council of Geoscience, at least we were able to give the appropriate feedback at the time. And this is how NDC and corporations is being demonstrated. So we do work. And it's not only that, we have also worked with different countries in our region. For instance, Nigeria is one of the NDCs that we have worked with, Zimbabwe, and we are also planning to work more with other countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marco. Kayla, I know it's your case too.
Yes, actually in Venezuela we used a lot of lots of the products that are derived from the IMS data, the NDC build capacities, and even the regional and national network. And all this ends up into projects that are mainly for seismic risk mitigation. So those products are really helpful in the process of orienting actions in order to save lives inside the country. So because of the Venezuelan geological setting up is like very seismically active, then these stations, data, and all these capabilities are really important for us. And we do appreciate very much the support that is given. So in order for us to be able to have better response in these kind of duties. Also, for example, when we are trying to delineate fault systems, when we are trying to make risk mitigation plans, and all this information is really valuable for all of us. So yeah, definitely these products and scientific applications are really relevant.
Thank you very much, Kayla. I also know that some of you have some agreements, about NDC agreements with other countries. I know it's the case of Marlene. Marlene, yes?
In terms of collaboration, so actually we do not have collaboration with other NDC, but we have a lot of collaboration with European Institute in the field of all kinds of geophysics, I mean seismology, seismic hazard assessment, and tsunami hazard assessment. But we hope with the help of the CTBTO to really have better, collaboration with regional institutes, which are not very easy to do it in my region. So this is the current case of Lebanon.
Yes, thank you very much. And Daniela, you mentioned something when we had the conversations. Yes?
About cooperations?
Yes.
Between NDC and Europe region, I would like to mention we have a close collaboration with Austrian NDC, and especially on using NDC in a box, and for infrasound monitoring, data processing, result analysis. We have operating and maintaining the equipment we have installed in our countries, which is not part of IMS, which is national infrasound stations. As well, we have constant exchange of experience, and I think this this is very good for progresses we did during the time. And another cooperation I'd like to acknowledge is the one with French NDC, which constantly supports us with using DTK softwares, DTK GPMCC and DTK Diva, and moreover in 2019, in the beginning of the year, we benefit from 1 week training provided by CIA, which is which hosts the French NDC on advanced infrasound data processing tools and propagation models and network performance simulation and data fusion.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniela. Now let's move to CTBTO cooperation. Juan, can you provide examples of cooperation with the CTBTO and regional NDC experts in your country?
Well, I can provide a recent example in the promoting the exchange of experience between NDCs. We co-organized the last NDC workshop along with PTS, which took place in Toledo last year. So that was a good example of cooperation.
Yes, thank you very much. And I also know that Mako has a great relationship with CTBTO in this cooperation.
Yes, the special relationship that I've previously highlighted, where we had a couple of we had a couple of cooperations with CTBTO and our regional experts. So I'll mention maybe the most recent ones, recently before COVID, there was a Arabic NDC workshop that was targeting the Arabic-speaking nationals, and also the same was done in Niger in 2022 for the French speakers. And Namibia as well itself has hosted a regional RSTT workshop whereby regional expertise were gathered, trying to find African solutions for African problems. And also, myself, I've been fortunate enough to attend some of the trainings here in Vienna. Like last month, I attended a training course on seismic waveform analysis on SEISCOM. And I was part of the global seismological observation course that is usually offered in Japan in collaboration with CTBTO. Thank you.
Thank you. Kayla, you also?
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Sorry. Yes. For example, in Venezuela, a number of experts have also attended to these workshops that they are related to CTBTO, and most of these workshops, what they do is that they strengthen their skills, and therefore then they enhance the monitoring capabilities of our team in some ways. Also, important proposals have come across on enhancing monitoring system techniques and equipments. For example, for operators, in my case, as I mentioned previously, RSCT workshops are really relevant for me, and because in that way we can provide better areas constraints for our relocalization of the seismic activity. And all these participations, usually what they do is that they in our team, when they get back, they have we have a protocol, an activity that usually we share all this information also with our colleagues in Venezuela, in our own language, obviously, but then it's not full stop when the expert goes out there and learns something new and comes back. We just share it and make a seminar or something so everybody else can be updated at the same time. And all these definitely, when you see the internal activity inside the Institute, all these are enhancing monitoring capabilities besides the technical and equipments and all the activity that implies the full Institute of the NDC.
Thank you very much, Kiela. Daniela, I know you also have a close cooperation with CTBTO.
Yes, and I would start with the events organized in collaboration with CTBTO, in fact, organized by CTBTO in Romania. In 2011, there was the NDC evaluation workshop in Bucharest, which was a good event to meet people from I think 5 continents at that time. Then in 2014, it was a regional training course on NDC capacity buildings regarding waveform processing and IDC product using, and in 2019, an NDC intermediate level infrasound data analysis training was held in Bucharest. Moreover, and very important, our the Romanian NDC expert participated into numerous events organized by CTBTO, like infrasound technology workshops, science and technology conferences, NDC workshops, training in SHI data and IDC products, analyst trainings of 2 weeks and 1 month, NDC advanced training on infrasound data processing, and training course using CEST. I would like also to acknowledge the capacity building system provided by CTBTO in 2016 and installed in our institute. And in between 2016 and 2018, in the western part of Romania, a temporary infrasound portable PTS portable infrasound array was deployed, and the data collected with this array contributed to enhancing national infrasound monitoring capabilities within a collaboration project regarding this, the deployment and operation of this array. And the array contributed to the increasing detection capability of infrasound network in Romania, and deepening of the understanding of local and regional infragenic sources observed by data and technology integration.
Thank you, Daniela. And we appreciate the help of the PTS in supporting the countries with the CVS and all the equipment, all the support. But the countries and the NDCs also have some problems, right? So I would like to know, what are the challenges or barriers that exist in enable regional capacities in your NDCs? I would like to start with Marlene, because I know that Lebanon is suffering from some crises.
Yes, in fact,
Yeah.
challenges, there are a lot in Lebanon. So the financial and economical situation in Lebanon has declined significantly the last 4 years. And of course, it impacted all the official institutions, and between them, the National Center for Geophysics. So we are trying these days as much as possible to count on the international projects we have in order to survive this period. And of course, we are now more active. For years, we were a little bit absent from the CTBTO activities. So lately, I would say for the last 1 year, a little bit more. So we are trying as much as possible to participate to this training that CTBTO are planning in order to get profit from the CTBTO data and the CTBTO products, and with the objective to advise better our national authorities, which we really realize that are very crucial after the Beirut port explosion. So I hope that soon we will recover. Meanwhile, we are counting on our resiliency to pass this difficult period.
We hope so too. There is another question now that you mentioned the explosion in Beirut, Marlene.
Yes.
Because you have your national network, and I would like to know if how was that experience regarding the
Yes,
sensors?
it's all the time very sad to talk about. Indeed, this 4 August 2020, it was a very sad day in Beirut. So, I mean, it's a huge explosion that caused the death of more than 200 people, thousands of injuries, hundreds of thousands of people were left homeless, and more than $10 billion in property damages. So it was very terrible. Of course, our national network has recorded, all the stations have recorded the double explosions. And not just our station, the explosions were even recorded at a regional scale. So yes, it was recorded, unfortunately, on our stations.
Thank you very much, Marlene. I would like also to know the experience of Juan in terms of the challenges and barriers that you encounter and how you can overcome them.
Well, as I mentioned, we have limitations in terms of the number of technologies we have expertise in. Presently, we are specialized solely in seismic analysis. So to address this, we have identified 2 key approaches. Firstly, we have to try to have a strong and effective cooperation with the rest of the establishments in Spain. And secondly, we have to work towards expanding our knowledge and proficiency in other technologies such as infrasound and hydroacoustics.
Thank you very much, Juan. Mako, same question.
Thank you. Challenges are quite many and very common. So, but the good news is whenever we have challenges, lies opportunities to improve. So my region faces challenges like lack of expertise, especially in the science and technology fields. However, this can be resolved by probably having expert exchange programs whereby we are able to identify in our own regions people who are good in certain technologies. For instance, if you would like to, I'll be using Namibia a lot because I'm from Namibia. If we realize that Namibia is good in seismic technology, for example, so we can get expertise from Namibia and train other regional NDCs. And by doing so, we are enhancing our capabilities in the verification regime. Another challenge is funding, and this is faced mostly with countries that are hosting auxiliary seismic stations, which is highly dependent on state funding. And then most of our NEDs and NDCs are not standalones, so which means it falls inside an organization whereby whatever budget you get, you have to split it for different activities, and this compromises the effective operations of our NDCs. Another challenge is seismology itself. It's difficult to get this profession or career in our regional universities. So it's close to impossible, it's inaccessible, even if we try to promote the younger generation to do these fields, because locally or domestically, that field is not offered. So maybe we can start from our curriculum development, promote the field, and by doing so, maybe later in future, we'll be able to overcome that. Another challenge we experience is with regards to trainings. You get general trainings in most cases, so I would suggest if we can introduce or initiate tailor-made trainings whereby you group different people or personnel in different expertise. For instance, you have maybe people who are at the basic level of a certain technology, and then average, and then you have the advanced. But during our trainings, we have everyone in the same training. So at the end of the day, the outcome is compromised because the level of experience and understanding is totally different. And to conclude again, I think if we have or create regional trainings that are able to cater for different or unique, addressing unique problems for different regions. Yes, we have many challenges, but it's different for each country, it's different for each region. Thank you, Paula.
Thank you very much, Mako. I will mention something before Kayla, because you said unique problems for each region. Today I was in a conversation and I told a group of people that we are leading a project that it's about having a regional program for all issues related to the treaty in our region, in the Latin American region and the Caribbean, because sometimes we need to solve problems that are regionals, and this includes NDC also, and we also can have cooperations. So it's very important that maybe every region could lead the group of people that are involved in the treaty in the different countries. Yeah, before that, Kayla, you also could be part of this, this group. So please
sure.
continue with the challenges. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Well, given the current situation of the Venezuela countries, I would say that we face many challenges, and we Venezuelans tend to be very creative how to overcome them. However, we truly appreciate the donations that CTBTO has given to our own NDCs to overcome, because sometimes underfunding could be an issue in my own country for especially for science or for technical work. Yes, so thanks to CTBTO donations to the Venezuelan NDC, underfunding, which is an important barrier to overcome, has been breakthrough. And nowadays, a far more robust system we hold at the moment. Even though those are not the only challenges we face, we definitely have language challenges. My mother tongue is Spanish, but and a lot of our NDCs and analysts and younger scientists, they don't speak English, and that's a barrier. Sometimes providing training to them in Spanish and giving them the information as best as we can. Those are challenges that we overcome, and we try to work hard every day to get through them. So yeah, those are my points related to challenges to go through.
Thank you very much, Kayla. Before open the floor for questions, I would like to express my gratitude to our panelists and to tell us about their valuable stories and experiences in collaborations with CTBTO or other countries. And I'm just very thankful for all the cooperation also before the panel to organize ourselves. And I open the floor for questions. Yes, please. Please.
Thank you very much for this valuable discussion. I think most of you are NDC managers, and you know that the NDC in general can be composed of 6 establishments. This was done to that the NDCs can be able to use different technologies, because as we know, the NDC, for example, in seismological center, they don't have the skills for radionuclide and like this. So what is your experience in this cooperation between national institutions like establishments? So the NDC is like a division and the establishment is like the subdivisions. And this tool, it's useful for the NDCs. I want to know your experience with such kind of collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Juan is the right person to answer this because he has establishments. Please.
Yeah, thank you very much for your comment and question. And that's exactly right. In our case, we have 4 establishments apart from the NDC. So we are specialized in seismic analysis, but 2 of the establishments are specialized in radionuclide analysis and the other 2 in seismic analysis. And as I have mentioned, it's key to have a very effective cooperation, but it's not just to have a cooperation we have had in several events, but I think that it's very important to feed all the time this cooperation, to try to do joint activities, to get it alive, this cooperation between, because otherwise in the most important moment could fail. So it's good to have different institutions specializing in different things and take advantage of this, but you have to make the effort to cooperate, because it's in some way more difficult than having everything in the same institution.
Yes. Any other question? Or I can tell you my story in our NDC. For example, we have a lot of different technologies, and we are in the nuclear center. So they have no experience in waveform. So that's because we are in constant search for new institutions to have agreements. And now Christopher is there, he helps me with the NDC. And we are having now conversations with a university specialized in infrasound, because we are not experts in infrasound technology. So it's good that all NDCs can follow this example. But it's also important that you get the experience from other institutions to learn about these different situations, that all countries are different. Yes. Thank you very much. I don't see any other questions, so thank you very much for coming today. Thank you.